Are you looking for ways to make your money work as hard as you do? Discover the secrets of smart investing to build your wealth. Now, you might think talking about finances is boring, but no, this stuff is crucial if you want to have a stress-free life when you're older. So let's dive in. Imagine you're carrying a heavy backpack full of rocks. That's kind of what debt is like. It's this heavy thing you carry around that keeps you from running fast or climbing easily. That's why I believe it's super important not to owe money to anyone. Because when you're not worried about paying someone back, you can use your money to build your own wealth. Like seriously, you can end up really rich. Let's talk about cars for a second. Did you know the average person pays about $500 each month for a car? And that's a dated number. That's a lot of money. It might not seem like it, but if you invested that cash instead, you could be a millionaire later. I know it sounds wild, but it's true. If you put that car payment into a diversified investment like an exchange-traded fund in the S&P 500, being a basket of stocks that grow over time, from when you're 30 years old till when you're 70, you'd have an estimated $5 million. Yep, just from saving your car payment money. Getting out of debt is like planting a tree. At first, it's a tiny thing, but over time, it grows big and strong and gives shade and fruit. Getting out of debt lets you grow your own money tree, but you got to be patient and keep taking care of it. The cool thing is, if you don't have to be a money genius or have a fancy job to get started, but you do need to be careful, because there are lots of people who might give you bad advice. They're like those characters in video games who try to trick you or lead you down the wrong path. That's why it's important to learn as much as you can and ask questions until you understand. Okay, so there's this thing called investing, and it's a big deal. It's how you make your money grow over time, like watering a garden. But what's crazy is that lots of people who talk about investing don't really focus on getting out of debt first. They're all about grow, but they forget that you need to have a clean, weed-free garden first. And here's a little secret. A lot of these financial experts, advisors, bloggers, and so on, they talk a big game, but they might not have a winning score themselves. They're like a basketball coach who never actually made a basket. So it's super important to listen to people who have successfully done what you want to do. Those who started from the bottom, got out of debt, and built wealth the smart way. The truth is, most wealthy people didn't get rich quick. They did it slowly over time, like a snail winning the race, just because it kept moving forward. They invest in things like mutual funds, which are like a team of superheroes. Each one has different powers, and together they work to fight off the villains of taxes and inflation. But even superheroes need a good leader, and that's where having a guide or teacher comes in. Finding that guide or teacher, someone who really knows their stuff and just isn't trying to sell you something, can be tough. They're like the wise mentor in those epic movies, the ones who've seen it all and survived. They can help you navigate through the financial wilderness and avoid the dragons of bad investments and the creepy creatures of high-interest debt. Typically, we like to look at people who are certified financial planners or CFPs who tend to be experts in this area of financial literacy and understanding. Now, let's talk about something called risk. In the world of money, risk is like, imagine you're a pirate sailing on the high seas. The weather's always changing. You might have calm waters one day and face a giant storm the next. If you invest in something that's really risky, it's like sailing into a known area of storms and pirate battles. Sure, you might find treasure, but you also might lose everything in a shipwreck. That's why you got to spread your risk out by investing in different things. This is called diversification, and it's like having a fleet of ships all over the world. If a storm sinks one ship, it's okay because the treasure on your other ships is safe. Smart investors do this with mutual funds, real estate, or other investments. They don't put all their treasure in one ship. Here's the other tricky part, emotions. Money can make us feel all kinds of emotions like happiness, fear, or stress. It's like being in one of those intense movie scenes where the music is making your heart beat faster. If the stock market drops suddenly, you might feel like the sky is falling, like Chicken Little. But really, it might just be a normal part of the cycle, like winter following the autumn. That's why it's important to keep a cool head and think long term. Like you're a wise old wizard planning for the next 1,000 years. If you pull your money out of an investment because you're scared, you might miss out on the growth that comes after, like a massive spring bloom after a harsh winter. And don't forget about compound interest. It's the magical force in the financial world. Imagine you plant one apple seed today and it grows into a full tree of apples. If you plant all the seeds from those apples, you'll have even more trees. Over time, you could have an entire forest from that one seed. That's what compound interest is like. It makes your money grow into a big, lush money forest. But it takes time. You can't grow a forest overnight. And remember, the financial world is always changing. It's like a giant river that's always flowing and shifting. New technologies and world events can change the financial landscape, just like storms can change the course of a river. So you've got to stay informed and be ready to adapt your plans. Maybe a path you were following is now blocked and you need to find a new way around. What's super important is that you start now. It's like when you're playing a video game and you need to gather resources and tools. The sooner you start, the more you'll have for tougher levels after. Even if you're just saving a little bit now, it's like you're collecting coins or potion ingredients, you're getting prepared. Alright, so once you start in this financial quest, it's essential to track your progress. Imagine like you're the captain of the ship and you're constantly consulting your map and compass to ensure you're on the right path. In the real world, this would mean regularly checking your bank accounts, investments, and debts, making sure you're sailing toward your goals and not drifting into the treacherous waters of unnecessary expenses and bad investments. Now, talking about expenses, it's crucial to differentiate between wants and needs. Picture this, you're on a desert island and you find a treasure chest. Inside there are essentials like water, food, and a flare gun, but there's also gold, jewels, and a fancy hat. Now, while that hat might make you look and feel royal, it's not going to help you survive or signal for help. This is the difference between needs, like paying for housing, food, and utilities, and wants, like buying the latest gadgets or designer clothes. By focusing first on your needs and then budgeting for your wants, you ensure you're making the most of your treasure. Speaking of budgeting, think of this as your spell book in a fantasy game. Each spell, or real terms, every expense or savings goal requires a certain amount of mana, money. If you use all your mana on powerful but unnecessary spells, you might find yourself unable to cast essential ones when you really need them. A well-planned budget lets you allocate your resources wisely, ensuring you can always cast the right spell at the right time. It's also essential to surround yourself with a reliable crew or fellowship. In every hero's journey, there are allies and mentors who provide guidance, support, and even the occasional reality check. In your financial journey, this might be financial advisors, family members, or friends who share your financial goals and values. They can help you stay on track, offer advice, or even partner with your joint ventures like starting a business or investing. Remember, however, that in every story there are also antagonists or challenges in the financial world. These can be sudden expenses, economic downturns, or even personal setbacks like losing a job. But just like any protagonist, facing and overcoming these challenges is what makes your journey meaningful and will eventually lead to growth. Having an emergency fund is like having a shield or potion in your inventory, ready to deploy when the unexpected dragon appears. Always keep this in mind for your journey. Whether it's ensuring a comfortable retirement, buying your dream home, traveling the world, or helping others, having a clear and motivating goal is like the North Star guiding sailors across the night sky. Whenever you feel lost or disheartened, just look for your North Star, your guiding purpose, and you'll find the strength to continue on your quest. In the next phase of your journey, think of diversifying your investments and assembling a diverse team of characters in your adventure party. You wouldn't want your entire squad to be archers when going into a varied combat situations. Similarly, you don't want all your money tied up in one type of investment. Different financial climates favor different investments. Stocks, bonds, real estate, and others have their moments to shine. Much like characters have moments in glory in battles, by diversifying you spread the risk and increase the chance of your portfolio weathering the storms and battles of volatile markets. Moreover, staying informed is akin to a scout gathering information for the group. Financial trends like weather patterns have telltale signs that indicate change. By regularly consulting reliable financial news sources, studying market patterns, and even attending seminars or educational courses, you're like an adventurer constantly learning, growing, and adapting to new environments and challenges. Also, don't underestimate the power of patience and discipline in your quest. Think of the stories where the character must undergo a series of challenges or long period of waiting to obtain a magical weapon or sacred knowledge. In the financial realm, this is akin to compounding interest, the process where your investments earn returns and then those returns generate their own earnings. It's slow at first, like a snowball barely rolling, but as it continues, it picks up more snow and momentum until it's an avalanche of financial growth. However, the path won't always be clear, and sometimes, like any weary traveler, you might stray from it. These financial setbacks, whether big and small, can be disheartening. They're the plot twists where it seems like all is lost, but remember, in these moments, And the stories where the heroes are down, that's when they find their inner strength and determination. They learn from their mistakes, adapt, and come back stronger. Whether it's a bad investment, a missed payment, or a shopping spree, it's crucial to assess what went wrong, learn from it, and make a plan to get back on track. Additionally, as you journey, you'll realize the importance of giving back. Similar to heroes realizing their quests aren't just for them, but also the greater good, whether it's donating to charity, investing in community projects, or helping others with financial literacy, sharing your wealth and knowledge not only aids to others in starting their own quests, but also enriches your journey, bringing a sense of fulfillment no treasure can provide. As you approach the climax of your story, remember every quest has an end goal. However, reaching the end doesn't mean the adventure is over. Financial security, like any kingdom saved in storybooks, needs maintenance and careful governance. You'll need to plan your own succession, retirement, ensure your treasure is well guarded, insurance and estate planning, and maybe even start preparing a new generation for their quests, saving for children's education or passing on financial knowledge. As you sit on your throne, your own gleaming and wealth spread before you, remember that the quest was not just about the gold, it was about the wisdom gained, the dragon slain within yourself, and the peace you've secured for your kingdom, your family, and future. And in your legacy, they won't just tell the tales of your wealth, they'll tell tales of the wise ruler who journeyed far and wide, not just for riches, but for the prosperity and security of their realm and the realms of others. And so, your story becomes legend, passed down through the ages, a testament to the power of determination, wisdom, and courage in the epic quest of financial planning. Remember, this is not to be construed as financial advice, and you should talk to a financial professional about your personal situation. Wythdrawl Investing Insights, signing off.